Okay, so obviously we've been talking about this concept of making sure that you feel good with the way that you approach this, right? So
Right.
that kind of leads us to talking about one thing that you mentioned in your article, which is dopamine and serotonin, right?
Yes.
So can you
Yes.
go a bit deeper on that and explain the role that that plays in helping a person stay sharp on a cognitive level?
Sure. So, dopamine and serotonin are what we call neurotransmitters. So they literally send signals from one brain cell to the next. And as
Hmm.
with other things, the level of neurotransmitters tend to decrease with age. But there are things that we can do to maintain healthy levels of these substances. And you're going to get like probably tired of me saying this, but I mean, exercise does tend to boost your
Yeah.
levels of healthy neurotransmitters. Getting the right amount of healthy sleep does tend to increase or boost the amount of your neurotransmitters. Engaging in positive social interactions that make you feel good increases your brain's level of those healthy neurotransmitters. Unfortunately, dopamine, which tends to be the one that we call sort of the pleasure neurotransmitter, is also increased by what I call negative behaviors. Like what? Doom scrolling.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure your viewers or listeners know what doom scrolling is. I have a whole nother
Yeah.
separate article on that and how negative
Yeah.
that is. But the truth is, the reason it's so popular is it gives you a pop of dopamine. So what happens when you get it? It's like trying to train a rat to hit the bar in a cage. You give it a pellet, it hits its dopamine, boom, it hits the bar in the cage. So it's the reward. It hits the reward center. So yeah, so it can go both sides. I mean, we can engage in negative behaviors that will also increase our dopamine levels, but engaging in positive behaviors certainly also can do that.
God. Okay, so like, how do you tell the difference between what's healthy dopamine and what's not healthy dopamine? Because like, I guess someone might say, "Oh yeah, it's still dopamine though, right?" So like, isn't it supposed to be good? Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I think it's not what's good dopamine and bad dopamine. It's how do we
hmm.
get it? So,
Uh huh.
people
Yeah.
who engage in substance abuse, it temporarily boosts their level of dopamine, which is why that's how people get addicted to things because it continuously boosts their level of dopamine, but that's in a negative way. It's the same chemical. It's the
Hmm.
same chemical as one can get going out and running 5 miles if you happen to like to run. If you hate to run like me, that's not going to boost my dopamine. But for someone who
Really?
does, it's going to boost their level
Really?
of dopamine. Yeah, I hate to run. That's why I won't do
So,
it.
so if you don't like it, it won't, impact your dopamine in a
I mean,
positive
if you
way.
force yourself to do it, yeah, you're going to raise your level temporarily.
Okay.
But are you going to
Naturally,
go
yeah.
back and do it again and again? And not in my case, but in someone who likes to run,
Yeah,
yes, they will.
yeah, yeah. Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah.